back to Clutch City Chat. I'm Damon.
And I'm Hayden.
Today we're going to be going over a few things. We apologize for our absence, but this is a long overdue episode and we're glad to be back. The first thing we're going to be talking about is the NFL canceling the Hall of Fame game. What do we think about that? And then we're going to be moving on to the Rockets trade talks. Apparently they are in talks possibly as one of the favorites to land RudyGay from the Sacramento Kings. And then lastly, we're going to be going over Dwight Howard posting a bunch of videos of him shooting long-range shots. So to open things up, I'm going to go ahead and ask Hayden, what do you think about the NFL canceling the Hall of Fame game? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, is it a major mishap? Is it just a minor thing?
I just don't think the entire situation is being handled the way it should be. You know, I can respect the fact that they're looking out for the player's safety. You know, because ultimately, you know, these are guys that are trying to make a living. And if they go out there and they're playing on a field that isn't up to par and it isn't safe to play on, they could be putting potentially millions of dollars on the line. So I can respect the fact that they canceled the game because of that. My main concern is the reimbursement that they are failing to give all the fans.
Yeah.
You know, they came out and said that they are only reimbursing the ticket.
It's like, how about
the ticket
flight,
price? Yeah,
travel,
exactly.
time off from work.
So, you know, people make this trip every year, and it's not a cheap one by any means.
It's a road game for everyone.
And I think it's kind of a slap to the face to NFL fans that just go out there and you know, lose hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
For this trip, potentially, you know, in the thousands.
Well, okay.
Depending on where you're coming from.
So the NFL is looking out for player safety, and they're looking out for the best possible field conditions. Cool. So where were they with San Diego Chargers having to play on half baseball field, half football field every time that they go out? And you know, I mean, it's not real bad, but you can even go back into the 90s. I put my notes here. AstroTurf. Anybody that's played on AstroTurf. I've played on AstroTurf in high school, and I can tell you right now that, like, the whole deal right now that they're talking about is, for those of you who don't know, is that there was a bad paint job after they had already inspected the field. They said it was okay. Then they did a paint job, and they said that the paint started to congeal, and it made it a crusty surface, which then made the ground feel like concrete. So the players felt unsafe. They felt like it was too hard of a surface to play on. If you've played on AstroTurf before, that's concrete. You're talking like one of those little thin, prickly doormats, literally like maybe half an inch thick on top of concrete. You feel every hit when you land on that ground. So for them to say that this paint job made it, you know, feel like concrete, I kind of shrug my shoulders, like, and like, you know, like, are players getting too soft? Because I mean,
well,
I'm used to
it's just a different age. It's, you know, the league is way more conscious on safety, and it's more conscious on making sure that players are playing on the right conditions. And you know, 70s, 80s, 90s, it was just less of a concern.
That's why they have all the trials with concussions. Another aspect too, just real quick. Think about these guys on the fringe of making an NFL team. They need every down they can get.
And that's another thing.
To try out, and now they got robbed of an opportunity.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, especially being in the first game. That's going to be, you know, your second stringers, your third stringers, and your guys that are on the bubble.
Practice squad guys.
Mainly those guys on the bubble. So it is a huge blow to them. You know, and they're gonna have to step up in other opportunities, and it'll be less opportunities now.
People fail to realize they're not just trying out for the team that they're on the roster for right now, because a lot of them know they're probably going to get cut. They're trying out for one of the other 30
absolutely.
teams out of the 30
there's, I mean, scouts from every team go to preseason games all over the country. So I mean, you're not just trying out for the team that you're wearing a uniform for. It's every team.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, so moving on, we're going to go ahead and go into the Rockets trade talk. Reportedly, the Rockets are one of the teams that RudyGay has signed off on as a possible trade partner that he would be willing to go to. I guess he feels like he would thrive in the D'Antoni offense. According to a couple of reports I was looking at, the Kings would want Corey Brewer, but then they want a pot sweetener, and that pot sweetener would be someone on the caliber of Patrick Beverley. It just doesn't seem to match up for me. I don't think they're getting the kind of production back that they're giving up for Rudy Gay. I feel like they'd be giving up more than they'd be getting back. So there's got to be something more to that. Like they want a rookie or another player on a roster, like a Trevor Ariza.
What rookie?
Like
I mean,
good point. Maybe like a Trevor Ariza thrown in there or something like that.
I think Ariza would have to be thrown in the deal just because they play the same position.
Yeah.
And they're
talking 17.2 points a game and 6.5 rebounds a game. That's better than any third guy.
Well, I mean, and he played hogging up 30 minutes at the small forward position, so it just doesn't make sense. I mean, Brewer or Ariza would have to be in the deal, and after last year, who in their right mind would take Corey Brewer?
I don't understand how Brewer is
$6.5 million contract.
Yeah, I don't understand how Brewer is the number one key aspect of that trade.
I don't know where the report came from, but Brewer and Beverly, a point guard that's one way.
You're talking like 8 points combined between the two of them.
is a decent 3-point shooter, possibly an overrated defender. You obviously love his tenacity, but he does make mistakes. He does get beat, but I don't know, how valid that report is. All I keep hearing is Miami, how he wants to keep going to Miami, and I think that would be a better opportunity for him.
Well, I mean, the Kings seem to be on this path of wanting to piss off DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, yeah, and I don't know what's going on with that front office.
If you want to piss him off, trade away the second best player on the team. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. I mean, they have Rondo for a year. Let him go after he has a great year. Leads the NBA in assists. Yes, I believe so. But I mean, they've had talent. Last year I thought that they had enough talent to make the playoffs, and it just didn't pan out. So, you have arguably the best center in the league.
When he's not
RudyGay, like you said, 17.2 points per game and 6.5 rebounds. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
That's better than the second guy on our team.
Yeah. So, I mean, they have the talent. They had the talent last year. They took a step back with Rondo going to Chicago. But, I mean, I think they're just going to have to blow it up again because, like I said, they had the talent last year. Yeah. But they couldn't do anything with it. So
it's like blow it up. It's like blow what up. They never really had it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like
they've been rebuilding since they lost Chris Webber and that whole team that they had that would go up against the Lakers. That was a great rivalry in the early 2000s.
I mean, if he's gonna go anywhere, I think Miami is gonna be the most likely destination for him. But you can't trust any of these reports of the Kings, trade rumors because Cousins has been linked to trades. Rudy Gay has been linked to trades before.
Every year,
yeah,
I feel.
And he's always linked to Houston. I mean, this isn't the first time that he's been linked to Houston.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a ruse because I'm sure he's not real thrilled with our organization considering we traded him on draft day for Shane Battier.
Yeah,
I mean, back in the day, so it's like they didn't want me then. Why do they want me?
Well, and I mean, if you went ahead and they were like, okay, yeah, let's fire the trigger on the Beverly Brewer deal, obviously I would go for that. But other than that, I'd like to ride with the team that they have. I'm really interested to see how Montrezl Harrell, his game progresses into year 2. Clint Capella will be interesting to see how he plays. So I want to get all these young guys minutes. Rudy Gay is not going to put you over the top.
I'm actually really excited about Michael Beasley. I like what he did last year. Yeah. I felt like he was one of the bright points of a otherwise pretty bad season. They picked up his option. They let him. They kept him on the team, and I'm hearing all sorts of stuff from guys like Rick Bucher that if he continues to play the way he did to end the season, that they're talking about signing him to a long-term extension before the season's out, maybe even before halfway through the season. So we'll see. I mean, if he produces like he did, I don't have a problem with it. But
yeah.
All right, so on to the next topic. We've got Dwight Howard posting a bunch of videos. He's done this before, but he's posting videos on Instagram, shooting long-range shots and mid-range shots. He's shooting. They did show him shooting free throws, but he's shooting shots like just inside the 3 and even some threes. And he'll make like 4 or 5 in a row, and you can tell like sometimes the video's on loop, so it's not like he's dropping Steph Curry like 33s in a row kind of thing. But he was cited as like they talked about how the league is changing and it's all about distance shots, and that's fine. But at this point in his career, I feel like you are what you are. I mean, you can't change. But
I kind of disagree with that. But it's tough because, Dwight Howard came into this league when he was 18 years old. To this point, other than his physicality and how strong he is and how that changed, what about his game has changed?
Not one.
So why now?
Thing.
Why now?
Well, what personally bugs me about that as a Rockets fan, you know what? I'll just go off the map on that one. I'll just say, just as an NBA fan, you've been on one storied franchise. I'd like to say ours is storied. It's not necessarily storied, but you've been on a great franchise that had storied players that took you under their tutelage and tried to train you. You had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, power forward of all time. Definitely one of the top 2 or 3 in Kevin McHale, teaching you post moves, working with you on a daily basis. You had Hakeem Olajuwon, easily top 3 center of all time, teaching you post moves, working with you all the time. You have all these great players around you working with you all the time, and it almost feels like he shrugged it off.
I mean, the thing is it just doesn't seem like he's really getting anything from it and really absorbing it. And that's what I mean. He's 30 years old now.
You're not bringing a chance. Like, no offense. I'm a Rockets fan. I'm a realist, though. I love my Rockets. Are we winning a title this year? Obviously, probably not. But you're not bringing a title to Atlanta.
I understand Budenholzer's system calls for a 5 that can kind of step out and shoot a mid-range jumper here and there. And I can respect the fact that he's trying to put that into his repertoire. But I just don't understand why at 30 years old it finally clicked to evolve his game. I think he could have been a top 10 center all time with the talent that he had coming in and the athleticism that he had. And obviously he had the injuries, but there was so much more room for growth, and I feel like you could almost describe his career as kind of being wasted.
Oh, for sure. Well, we're creatures of habit too, so go ahead, post your videos, shoot all these jumpers, because you're going to fall right back into your old habits when you get on the court. He's not going to shoot these jump shots. I don't see it happening. I don't see him pulling up from 20 feet, from 17 feet. I see him going in, trying to bang inside, missing about 2 or 3 shots, getting 3 offensive rebounds on one possession, then dunking it on somebody.
Well,
or getting fouled, and missing free throws.
It's time. I say this time and time again. Dwight Howard is the most. He is the least efficient, high usage, low post player in the NBA.
He's the Mario Williams of the NBA. He plays when he feels like it, and most of the time he doesn't feel like it. He could dominate the post against anyone in this.
Well, I'm not going to bash him out too much because he did have good moments for the Rockets. Yeah. But the thing is if you throw it into Dwight, his hook shot.
It improved.
It's okay. It's here and there. He'd probably knock it down at like a 50% clip if he's 5 to 6 feet away. I mean that's respectable. But the thing is if he get
I can do that.
If he gets to 5 to 6 feet, he shoots 50% from the free throw line. And last year it was worse than that. Why would you not wrap him up? You could make him the least efficient scorer just by wrapping him up. So,
well, like I said to start this video too, he's done this before. He's posted videos of himself working on shots. I'll tell you this: if you follow him, he practices free throws maybe more than any player in the league because he knows it's a problem. Everybody thinks he just doesn't practice them. Like, oh, get in the gym. You're a multi-million-dollar player. Get in the gym, practice your free throws. You keep missing them. I tell you what, that dude practices his free throws. He still can't hit them. He hits them in practice.
Well,
practice and in-game are completely different.
I think he's too strong, honestly. It's just,
the ball looks like a softball.
Yeah, and it's just it just comes from right here, and it's just, it looks like he's trying to put touch on it. It just looks completely unnatural. So.
But anyway, that's all we got for you today. We are going to be having some more videos coming out for you guys pretty soon. Just stay tuned, and if you like what you saw today, please give us a like, drop a comment below if you have any suggestions for videos. Like, subscribe, or share, and yeah, we hope to see y'all pretty soon.
See you next time.
Thanks.